Yeah, hi everybody, Ryan back with you here again. It's June 10th, coming from you here at home in Northeast Ohio. Got home, finished up a load last Friday, got home at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and finished up with that Ohio to Idaho, Idaho to Virginia, then I headed Virginia up to Pennsylvania, which brought me up by Pittsburgh, pretty close, an hour and a half from the house basically. That cabinet load worked out really well there at the end, getting me back from Virginia, because it was a 30-mile deadhead basically to go pick that up, drop and hook. I think I did a video from down there. It was a nice place to stay over for the night there, then left out early morning, and that all went pretty well, pretty flawless for a cabinet load. It went really well. So I want to give you all an update. I get paid on Wednesdays, and I'm always a week behind, and I don't do this every week, but I like to do it, look at the whole trip overall, or round trip is what I like to look at, or time out on the road, so kind of get a feel for what we're doing per day on the road and all that. But sorry, I've been at home. We've been pretty busy with farm stuff, and we're looking at putting this house on the market. So I've been kind of away from the channel a little bit, haven't been posting on a lot of comments, apologize for that. So once I get back to normal here, I'll be a little bit more active. So you haven't seen us on there a lot. This is because we've been extremely daylight till dark here at home, so it's been really busy. But I wanted to get this out today and show everybody how we did on that trip. So I'll start out with the outbound trip. We did that Ohio, Upper Sandusky, Ohio, out to Twin Falls, Idaho. If you recall, if you watched the prior videos, I had picked that load up on my way back from Michigan. Then I was home for 3 or 4 days or something there over the Memorial Day holiday. I left out at 1 a.m. on the 26th. I had a stop up in Illinois, Ingleside, Illinois, like northwest of Chicago. I was up there at 9 a.m., did that stop. Then I made it out to Twin Falls, Idaho on the 29th, and I was out there at 8 a.m., and we finished up. And so I bet about 3 days in that load. I'll show you guys on the settlement here when we get on the computer. That paid after Landstar stuff was taken out and fuel and all that, besides my truck payment and my truck insurance. I was at $24,2044 for those 3 days on that. So switch over here. So on the return trip, I ran about 2 hours up to Boise in Idaho, and grabbed up a load there the same day, May 29th. I was down there at about 11 a.m. and that load was going to Manassas, Virginia. So grabbed that load. We had a tire problem out in Cheyenne on the way back. Had to get that, had to replace a steer tire. If y'all saw that video. So I actually, that was supposed to deliver on the 2nd, but I was running pretty tight on 70-hour time. So I kind of worked. It was going to a construction site, and I talked to the guy on site there who was taking the delivery, and they weren't too hot for it, so he said I could come down on the 3rd, which worked out well for me, because I got home about 7 o'clock, because I was basically coming across I-80. We don't live too far from there, so it was kind of on the way home, or home was on the way to Virginia. So I made it back here at 7 a.m. on June 1st, and I left out of here at 2 a.m. on June 3rd to go down to Manassas, Virginia. So I was basically at home for 2 days in the middle of that. So that was kind of a nice little breather there, because it was running pretty hard. I know there was a couple of days where I had 800, 900 miles. I mean, of course, that was 2 driving periods and within a 24-hour period, but put down a lot of miles on that trip. So it was nice to get that little breather there. So I made it down to Manassas at 8:30 on June 3rd, down in Virginia. That took about 2 hours to load up. Took a little while because I had to use like a telehandler and take everything out of the back of the trailer. So I was hoping to be done a little bit quicker, but it didn't go as quick as I wanted. So then I found a cabinet load right out of Culpeper, Virginia, which from Manassas is only like 30-35 miles, 45-minute drive down there. I could stay on site, which I did a video from down there on location, which was a pretty nice quiet area to stay. The load was ready early. I left out of there about 3 o'clock in the morning on the 4th. I did 3 stops. I had 2 stops up by, one in Elizabethtown. There was one up by Harrisburg. These are all Pennsylvania, of course. Then one a little bit up, I guess US 15, Liverpool, Pennsylvania. So I did those 3 stops on the 4th. Then I had 2 stops over in the Pittsburgh area on the 5th, and I was done over there by about 12:30, and I was back home at about 2 p.m. on the 5th. So if I take out these 2 days because I was at home, I was got basically 9 days on the road, out on the road here, and total combined income. Oh, sorry, let me go back for this other. So the Idaho, Virginia to Pennsylvania, then back home, had 6 days in that, and we were at 34, 33, 27. So about 9 days total where I was out on the road. Like I said, I'd take those 2 days out because I was at home. And total income after everything Landstar takes out, so basically direct deposited to me, excluding any taxes or anything. I get a lot of questions about taxes. I'll get into that in a separate video because that's different for everybody. So for 9 days, I was at 58, 53, 71, and I'm going to take out a month's truck payment and my truck insurance. So that puts me down to about 51, 36, 71 after basically all expenses exclusive of taxes. And if I divide that by my 9 days out, that puts me at $570.75 a day for those 9 days. And that's basically the money that goes into my account after that. Then I've taken the truck payment out of that. And a lot of people ask about taxes and maintenance and all that. I mean, that's the money. I mean, after I get that money, I mean, what you decide to do with it or what I decide to do with it. I mean, if you want to save some for taxes or if you want to put some away in your maintenance fund, I mean, but that is basically after all the bills have been paid. That's what I have left there. So not too bad. I mean, I'm taking about a week and a half off here to get some stuff done at home. And I'm looking for a load now for, plans kind of changed, so I'm looking for a load now for Friday the 12th or get back out on Monday. Just kind of see what, I got a search set up now on load alerts and see what pops up. But I'm going to get on the computer here and actually show you guys the settlement statements that, correlates with these numbers. And also kind of show you the searches I have set up and what there is out there right now. So we'll get into that. Alright, so we're on Landstar Online here. I'm going to go in to get those settlements up for the last 2 weeks. So, direct documents. Okay, so we'll go back to the 3rd here. And so this side at Upper Sandusky, Twin Falls, Idaho, with that stop off in Ingleside. I think I don't know when exactly they're stopping that that $50 pandemic thing. So I still got that $50 for that, but I did deliver that there in at the end of May. So I don't know if they're still doing it in June or not. So basically, with everything came out, we came out to 2420. This escrow thing, that was the last payment, or the last week. The next week I'll show you will be the last week of that, so that'll be done. The plates and permits, we're getting pretty close on those. So pretty soon this is going to come down quite a bit. That probably we'll probably lose about $120 off here pretty soon, so that'll make for nicer settlements. So, and that was, like I said, that 2422 for the trip from Ohio out to Idaho. So, we'll go back. And here's the 10th. And this was the, we had the Boise, Idaho to Manassas, and then we had the Culpeper, Virginia to, I can't say what that is. All I know is it's north of Pittsburgh, so... So with those 2 loads, with everything, that was the last week of my escrow, so that's gone. Then, like I said, we're down for the plate and for permits. We're down to about $325 roughly left on that. So that'll be finishing up pretty soon. And so with those 2 loads, that put us at 3433. So, and this is, like I said, two weeks. Last week's and this week's 2 week statements, and excluding a truck payment, almost $6,000 direct deposited. So not too bad. And here's the searches I have set up right now. So I'm looking for a load going out west. I always do a 500-mile radius. and I put a minimum of $2 on there on the load board rate, and a minimum of $3,000 for the total revenue. This is one of those ice cream loads, ice cream cone loads we did a while back. It's attractive, but like I said, the last settlement was kind of disappointed the way it all worked out. So I'm probably not interested in doing one of those for a while unless that number gets up to around $5,000 or so for the. I don't know. Those food places, the grocery houses are just a hassle with the lumpers and waiting, and it just and plus you got to drive most of them. You got to do day driving, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm just gonna hold out for something a little bit better here. And this other stuff's kind of far away for the price. I mean, if I got up to over $3, then I wouldn't have a problem driving deadheading a little bit farther for a load, but not for these rates. I mean, if these were under 250 miles away, it wouldn't be too bad, but I'm just not going to run that far for those rates. I've been looking for, there's some stuff on here for Alaska. I've been looking for a load up there, because sometimes you get up the income, you get around $10,000 to $14,000, but you'll have to deadhead back from there, probably down to Seattle or something to get a load back because there ain't really nothing coming out of there. But here's a couple of these. There's a Fresno, California, to Juneau, 15 grand. And, so I don't know. Some of these agencies you never know if they're real loads or if the rates are good. So you kind of have to call about them. But I'm not in California right now, and I'm not going to be there by the 12th, so these wouldn't work out. But I've just been kind of watching the board. So going to the main. So there's almost 41,000 loads on the board, so it's not too bad. I mean, we're getting back up there, and rates haven't been too bad. So, and I can just I'll just do a general search on here, everything kind of in a 300 mile radius, and we'll put a minimum of, we'll say 250, and just see what's out there. And, we'll go down to van. And something I always do, because there's something really deceiving on here. So if you're searching for van, I always go down to van liftgate, VNLG, because you'll see these loads on there that are like $4 a mile, and you'll look at them, or in the comments they'll have liftgate, and you can't do those loads unless you have your own trailer with a liftgate. So I always take that out so I don't get false hope, seeing a real high paying load, then call about it, and the first thing they ask you if you have a lift gate. So we'll search, just do a search with this, and this is excluding. I have my search set up for the western states because that's where I like to run. So this is just going to be a general everything within a 300 mile radius from the 5th. We'll set this up to the 15th, basically. And this must be, I don't know why that's 80,000 pounds. So, but you can kind of see what's out there. It's Fort Wayne to Colorado, 291. And there's a Warren to Maine, it's 452, but usually there's not much coming out of there going to Maine. It's hazmat. That's fireworks. I know this account. So that actually picks up today. So I mean, there's some pretty good stuff out of here. If you like to run the shorter stuff. I mean, I never. I'm usually just. I mean, when I run the shorter stuff, or you'll see a good rate. That's a couple day load. I mean, at the end of the week, when we go over to settlements, I'm usually a little bit disappointed with how it comes out on the daily rate and all that. So, but just wanted to give you all that little update and the settlements, and just kind of looking at the load board there. I know I've had some requests. I mean, I wanted to do an actual like a full load board review with looking at some other lanes and stuff like that, and I'll do a separate video on that. But just wanted to kind of go over last week and where we was at and all that. Actually, I've got to get a truck inspection here due by the 16th. I've got that scheduled for tomorrow morning. So we'll go ahead and get that done, and I'll probably do a video on that because I got a couple other pointers and things with that. But so that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, I hope y'all like the videos. Subscribe if you want to see more. With the farm stuff and with the trucking stuff, and we've got a couple other things going on with the house and all that we'll be getting into. But like I said, we appreciate the support, and like I said, hopefully when I get back on the road here and get a little bit less busy, I'll get back into the comments and all that. Like I said, sorry, my apologies for being a little transient lately. It's just been a busy time here at the house. So, but again, like I said, if you got anything personal, please check out the About page, and we got an email on there. You can email us. I try to get back to you guys within 24 hours or so, because that's a separate email that we use versus my regular email. But like I said, if you got anything personal, go ahead and I don't mind. I talk to people on the phone sometimes and text and things like that as well. If like I said, you can email us for that info. And again, like I said, like the video and subscribe, and we appreciate the support. Thanks. Bye.